What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? My name is Lawton Ho, here with Verified Investing, and I go live every single day that the markets are open from 12:30 to 1:15. Hope you guys all had an amazing day. I'm a little sunburnt, I have to say. I went to this river called Rainbow River. You can't really see it, but I'm sunburned a little here. Got some more freckles for sure. Um, but yeah, went swimming outside. It was 95 degrees, but the water is like a spring, so it's like 75 degrees. So it was cold, to say the least. But I got some sun, got sunburned. I hope you guys had a great weekend. As always, you can feel free to ask questions by scanning this QR code down below or visiting the verifiedinvesting.com homepage and clicking that watch and ask in the top left corner. You can also send me questions on Twitter at Lawton Investing. Sorry, I'm like rubbing my eyes just because my eyes are a little itchy. But we'll hop into the charts a little bit. Had some interesting things happen on crypto. Crypto initially fell significantly. I actually took a profit on my crypto trade on XRP and came out with like a 12% win. I actually wrote an article about it. It basically hit my level and then bounced. So that level was spot on. Not to toot my own horn, but what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Derek says on radar SEO Baidu AMD VRT. On radar, what does that mean, Derek? Appreciate your questions as always. But what do you mean by that? SLB is here. SLB is trending downward, had this head and shoulders pattern, broke it, potentially going to see a move down. That measured move would be about 14%, but it's at the lows of the chart, so I'm not sure if it would do that. As far as Baidu, I have a shortable level at this previous gap fill, or this recent gap fill up here could also be a good good level of resistance on the stock. For a bounce, for a day trade, Baidu, if it came down here, could to this gap fill could see a bounce as well. So I'm kind of playing this wedge on Baidu. Not wedge, but like, you know what I mean. There's up and there's a bottom, play in the middle. What other questions do you guys have for me? AMD, VRT, AMD. Quite the rise, right? Filled that beautiful gap, continues pushing higher. Wondering if what's going to happen. I mean, there is some excitement, but remember, guys, AMD has what tomorrow? Anybody? Nobody? I got it. AMD has earnings tomorrow. It literally says right here, next earnings report tomorrow. So what does that mean? What does that mean for AMD? If you are not in AMD, don't touch it. Do not touch it unless you're going to day trade it. And if you are going to touch it, exit before tomorrow's earnings, just because it's so volatile, guys. So volatile, you really, really have to be careful when trading it, okay? Please, guys. I don't want you guys to get blown up, your account blown up. Even if AMD favors to move up or down, it's, you know what I mean? Don't do that. Let's take a look at VRT. VRT, Vertiv Holdings. Coming down. Let's see here. I mean, you have this gap fill here as support for VRT should it come down. About 7% lower. Let's see what other questions you guys have. Marley says, "What's up, Mar? Marley, hi, Lon. Appreciate it that we can go through the charts together with you. Thank you so much for coming in, Mar, and asking me questions every single day, guys. Without your questions, I would be here talking to myself, looking at charts, making up questions, and I don't want to do that, right? It's so much more fun when you're asking questions because not only do I know that does it give me something to talk about, it also makes me feel like I'm doing something positive, right? That I'm able to provide something for you, of value to you. So thank you so much for your questions, Mar. Nathan says UNH seems to be really, dude. UNH has been down in the dumpster, down in the dumps, absolutely getting rocked. Like this thing is so beaten down. Favors a bounce so much. Absolutely 100%. But yeah, definitely 100% favors a move to the upside. Let's go and take a look at historical data to see where UNH may find some reprieve from this downward move, these downward moves. All right. These are your levels on UNH. Got a gap fill over here from 2020. You have another gap fill here from March of 2020. And finally, the COVID lows. All right, let's see where that would take it. How much further down these levels are. Quite a ways away. The first gap fill is only 3.5% lower, but the next levels are 18%, and the COVID lows 21% lower, respectively. These are the areas that I would anticipate a bounce. Really, I think UNH wants to get above this downsloping trend line. If you can do that, I'm expecting a significant move higher. Let's see what else we got, huh? Mar says, "Yeah, we made some dough this weekend. Yeah, we did. We did make some money on that trade. Let's look at that really quick if you guys don't mind. Let's look at this. Oh, amazing, incredible trade here. I entered this trade on I entered my trades every single Tuesday. This was the price, and I was looking for a target on XRP because I was shorting it, right? And what did I had? I had this head and shoulders, right? Head and shoulders, even if you don't want to call it a head and shoulders, fine. You can still say this is a valid upsloping trend line with like 1, 2, almost 3 hits. So I saw it was looking to potentially break it, or could be potentially breaking it in the next couple of days. That's something that I don't love, is that I have to give the trade on Tuesday. I can't wait until I see a break or whatever, but it's fine. I predicted that it would break, and it did. Look at this. Friday. So we had the break here, confirmed on Friday. Saturday came down and then hit my level. Look at this level. My level was $2.74. So it came slightly down below it, right? Slightly lower, but not more than not more than like a cent away max from my exit. And then look at this incredible bounce, about 2.5%, 12.5%. But as you see from here, I took around 12% on this trade, and members got that with the Trade Alerts Explorer. It's a $50 subscription per month, and you get a trade from myself, you get a trade from Gareth, you get a trade from Drew, Maggie. You get 3 trades from Gareth actually. You get tons of content. Actually, I want to see what everything that you get in this. So I'm curious to take a look. So on Gareth, for Gareth, you get 3 trades from Gareth every single week. On Monday, Drew does a video talking about cycles, right? Everyone loves cycles. On Tuesday, I give a crypto trade. On Wednesday, Gareth gives a deep dive trade. Thursday, Ben gives a commodity trade. Friday, Maggie gives an options trade. And Saturday, Dr. B talks about the overall health of the markets. So you're getting tons of value for $50. It's a steal. And if you took this trade, you definitely made more than $50. So congratulations. Wes says, what are you thinking about stocks on the short term? I got out at 790. What are you looking for a re-entry? Yeah, stocks went crazy on Friday. That was crazy price action. Stocks actually popping up now. I had an order out at 765. I'm not sure if I got filled yet for a day trade, right? And I would look for 10 cents on that, 7 to 10 cents. I didn't check my brokerage to see if I got, or exchange brokerage to see if I got filled on that or not. But I had an order at 765 for a day trade. My long term, I did take half of my position off in the money on Friday. My average is $7.94. So I'm still going to be adding every 25 cents, lower than 794. So if you do the math, I did add today at 769. So my average, I believe, is somewhere around 787, maybe a little higher, 789. But anyways, Mar says, great prognosis. Got out and sold on 156 and re-enter at 161. What do you think? Let's check it. Let's check Solana. Okay. Got out and sold on 156. Nice. Great level there. Re-enter at 161 for a short or a long, Mar. For me, I have it pulling back at 168. This is that previous pivot high. You see it playing a price action. It actually crushed it. So potential pullback off of this. If not, I definitely foresee a pullback at 176. But depends if you're talking about long or short. Sam says, SMCI earnings. How do I play it? Exit before? What am I about to say? Sam, what am I about to say? Everyone in the chat, what am I about to say? I know it. You know it. I said it earlier. I'm going to say it again. This is going to be a quintessential question. I do not trade stocks into earnings. I don't go long or short into earnings because no matter what the chart looks like, no matter how great it looks like for a fall or a bounce, it doesn't care. Let's take 2 examples real quickly. Example, UNH. It was so beaten down. Look at this. Into earnings, it was down 56%. You want to say, wow, I think this is going to break up. You have this nice downsloping trend line. It looks like it wants to push up. Looks like this is absolutely incredible for a move higher on UNH. What happened? It's 15% lower than that price right now. I'm not interested. Let's take a look at Microsoft. A little bit of a different chart. Microsoft at its all-time highs, at this upsloping trend line, favors a breakdown. Think it's going to come down. Looks like it's going to move down. What happened? Gapped up 8%. And for pre-market, it was up here to 10%. Granted, it did fall, right? So you could have worked your average, but what if instead of shorting it into earnings, you just waited for it to go up, waited until 555, and then shorted it? So that's why the way I play earnings, I don't short or long into earnings. If I'm holding a position, for the most part, I just cut my position ahead of it. And then after earnings, I'll get back in and trade it with my levels. But I'm not interested. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Of course, Sam, you can do whatever you want. But for me, I'm a more conservative trader. And I believe that the overall for health and for the overall health of your account, the best and most profitable way to trade is to take consistent gains over time. Of course, what happens if you're in SMCI or Microsoft and you were long and you thought that it was going to go higher? You would have been like, wow, I was right. But at the end of the day, it's a coin flip. So, anyways, hope that makes sense. Mar says, haha, as long as you answer, I ask, of course, and I'm here every single day. Except for weekends. Patrick says, hi, Lawton. What's up, Patrick? Would it make sense to join smart money stocks and ETFs just for the earnings trader, assuming I have a 50K account and it's not enough for swing and day trading? Well, 50K account is more than enough for day trading. Day trading, our minimum recommended is 30K. And 50K is more than enough for swing trading. Absolutely. No, we have. Do I think it's worth it just for the earnings trader? If you're not going to do anything else, I'll keep it real with you, right? I'm not going to lie to you. It's $150 a month. Do I think that on a 50K account you can make $150 a month by earnings trading with us? Yes, I do. 100%. But I would encourage you to take advantage of everything that the smart money stocks and ETFs has to offer, right? 100%. But do I think you'll pay for your subscription? Yeah. Even on a 50K account for day trading, you'll pay for that $400 easily. You should be able to pay for that $400 subscription fee in 1 or 2 days, like 3 days of trading at the max. That should be 1 or 2 days. Peggy says, hi, Lon. What's up? Last Friday, you said XRP went on 256 or 232. Did I say that? I still do see, I do think that 232 could be a great level to exit. But as you can see, this is the trade that I gave out last week on Tuesday. I gave this in our service, and this was my short-term target. Do I think XRP eventually falls down there? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Could be a good target. The 276 level, 256 level could also be a good level right here. Absolutely for a bounce on XRP, but we need a rollover in the markets for this. But right here. Christopher says, what's up, Lawton? I'm new to charting. Not a problem, Christopher. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. When it comes to swing trading, what's the best chart time frame to look at daily? For the most part, daily. Also, does the daily chart mean each candlestick represents a day, or a year? Yearly chart means a year? Yes. Each of these is 1 day. 1 day, 1 day, 1 day. On the hourly, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Weekly, 1 week, 1 week, 1 week. But yeah, daily. Mars says, leave it alone. No trades at earnings. Yeah. AK says, hi, Lawton. What's up? What's up, AK? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for being here. Derek says, good day, and welcome to the Verified AMA lunch hour. Thanks, Derek. Identify these four before the start for day trades. Didn't work out. Let's see. Cool. Let me take a look at your charts. I did go over them a little bit earlier, but I didn't talk about them as day trades. So I'd be happy to take a look at the charts you sent me. Let's start from the back end. Yeah, the problem with and these markets have just been kind of crazy, right? Let's look at the S&P. Look, since the open, if you shorted anything, you had very little opportunity to take profit, right? The $1 pullback in the S&P is your max for the whole day, right? So this is the biggest drop all day in the S&P, and it's 1.14%. So take a look at something on Nvidia. The most you could have made, you could have had $1, a 0.5% drop in Nvidia. That's the most if you hit it perfectly, but you couldn't. Today was a tougher day for day trading. Excuse me. However, we still did manage to take a win. Let me see here. Yeah, so I took a successful trade. I made around 1% on SOXS. Gareth took a trade on Palantir. He took about 1%, and Ben took about 1% on OKLO. So those were the three things that we traded today in the live day trading room for profit. Right. So it wasn't easy, right? Especially if you're trying to short things. But it's been tough. Let's see some of your other charts, Derek. So excuse my yawning, guys. Did sleep a little later last evening than I wanted to. Ultra short, yeah. I mean, if you shorted it, you would have. Did you short that? Or did you go long, Derek? I can't tell with these trades. But anyways, I appreciate you sharing your charts. Like everything, like AMD just kind of moved up. AMD, you could have shorted here. Could have taken about $2.5-ish. I would have probably looked to take $1.5 on this, but this could have been traded. VRT for a bounce. I mean, the first candle gave you a chance, but other than that, unless you entered down here, you could have taken 1%. But how do you even know that's the bottom? It's tough. This was tough unless you shorted it. For Baidu, if you shorted it, you could have made some money. But if you went long, I don't see an opportunity really. You could have made money on Baidu. Didn't really work out. SEO, same thing. I mean, you could have taken 1% almost here, but it would have been tough. This is kind of thin. All right. Sarah says, "How are you, Lawton?" I'm good, Sarah. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining me on this Monday. Hope you had a good weekend, Sarah. On the VIX, let's take a look. Volatility index, is it more likely to fill the gap at 2002 or 17? Let's see. Is it more likely to fill this gap or this gap? Your guess is as good as mine. You got to flip a coin. What other volatility index track the big techs? I'm not sure as far as volatility wise, but you can always use the QQQs to kind of track the tech sector. But for the VIX, like if you're expecting a big move off of earnings are coming, right? So if I had to guess, I would say it's more likely to fill this gap up here just because I'm expecting more volatility in the markets, right? With all these earnings coming up. But if earnings go as planned, it could easily come back down. Cyrus says hi, Lawton. On the hourly charts of VIX, okay, is it more likely to fill? Yep, I got you. I already answered that question. AK says, if I have half a Bitcoin, what do you recommend? Do you sell half or sell all to go into alts or wait for Bitcoin to go down and buy again? That's a tough decision, right? And AK, like, I appreciate you coming to me for guidance. And again, I will always try and give you the best, what I would do, right? But at the end of the day, it's important to do what's in your best interest. Like, do you need money now, right? Do I think Bitcoin goes to 200K? Yes. When? Could be in 5 years, right from now. For me, where I anticipate a pullback in Bitcoin is right here around 117, right? So what I would personally can probably do is I'd sell at least half at 117 and wait for a pullback and potentially buy back around 108 or around 108 seems like a good level. I mean, you have the 100K even number psychological level as well. But for me, a retrace to this trend line. This is why I was shorting Bitcoin for like 2 weeks, just waiting for this stupid thing to fall. So then I was like, okay, I'll just short XRP instead. And then finally it did fall. My downside target for Bitcoin is like 110. But up here is where I anticipate a pullback in Bitcoin. Pat says, happy Monday. What's up, Pat? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for bringing the energy. What are your thoughts on NEM for a long entry? But I hope that helps, AK. If you have more, if it didn't, let me know, and I'd be happy to help answer you. I like 53.32. I mean, that's a pretty darn good level, right? But it's a gap fill, but it's far away, way far away. Now, my next levels for an entry would be around here. These would be my levels potentially. I mean, NEM has had quite the rebound, but is still down significantly, right? But you're talking about from the lows of April, it's up 120%, right? So for me, I really probably wouldn't take this gap fill. This one is where I would be interested in, probably around $58. Sorry, I kind of had a stroke there. All right, what other questions do you guys have for me? Derek says short. Oh, you shorted things. Yeah, it would have been tough to short things today, Derek. Tough. But, I mean, you would have made money on SEO, right? SEO would have been good for a short today at the open or anywhere you shorted it. You could have taken your, whatever money. AMD, I mean, this one, you could have taken money here as well if you hit it, right? But if you started early, it might be a little tougher. Mark says, what's the resistance for TTD? Absolutely. Let's take a look at TTD. So resistance, you have it favors a move higher. That's all I'll say. But for me, if this nice gap fill down here, up here, we're at around 122. That's some resistance. You had a previous gap fill over here that it just absolutely demolished around 104.30, and you have pivot low here. I really think that this thing favors a significant move up, right? It's just so beaten down, TTD. You also have this trend line, and watch what happens if I draw this trend line. Where does that trend line line up? Depending on where it hits it, if it hit it tomorrow, it'd be here on this, coincide with this. So around the 112, 104 to 112 levels is where I find resistance on TTD. Mara says, are you into cars? And yes, which one? If yes, which one? Yeah, I love cars, right? I want to buy like a million cars. Um, my dream and what I'm trying to buy now is I want a 1999 to 2001 a Nissan GTR R34, Nissan R34 GTR, imported from Japan. But that's going to cost me around 120, maybe a little bit more, 120,000. I also would love a 1986 AE86 Toyota Corolla, um, imported from Japan as well. As you can tell, I love Japanese cars. Other things that I'm considering is I really like the Dodge Vipers. My dad had a Dodge Viper when I was growing up. So it's always been a dream of mine to be able to make enough money to buy that for him, find the car. We went through some financial troubles, so my dad ended up selling his car, um, or losing it rather. So track down the VIN number, find that car, talk to the owner, and see if I could buy it and give it back to him. But we'll see. One thing at a time, right? One thing at a time. I don't need another car, right? And I'm already privileged enough to be in this position. So anything excess is just additional blessing. So Mar says, why do you think the reason for the markets are up today? I would have guessed for further down. Me too, right? Me too. Absolutely. I would have guessed further down as well. I think they're just up because the buyers, right? Everyone still has the buy the dip mentality retail, but once those buyers become more and more exhausted, particularly if the earnings of AMD, Nvidia, and stuff are poor, um, that would cause the markets to sell off. But I mean, markets are also up because the EU and said that they're postponing their tariffs on the United States for about 6 months. That's good news, giving them more opportunity to have a chat, negotiations to continue. But man, I feel like they've been at it for so long, right? Like, come on, just do something. But that's just me, right? That's just me. Jeffrey says, what are the levels for TEM for a swing trade? Absolutely. Take a look. And AK says it helps a lot. I greatly appreciate your feedback. Thanks for asking me. AK, it means a lot that you value my opinion. Before I answer this question, I just want to say, guys, if you could, this would really help us. If you could give us a like and subscribe to us on YouTube, subscribe to Verified Investing on YouTube. It really helps our algorithm, helps this get seen by more people, and in turn makes us know here at Verified Investing that you enjoy this type of content, that you enjoy spending time with me, and you enjoy asking me questions as much as I enjoy answering them. So I love it. I hope you guys enjoy it too. But yeah, if you could do that, it would be great. So Tempest AI levels for a swing trade, absolutely 100%. Tempest AI is currently trading down. You're talking 38% from its highs. It's fine. Let's remove our previous drawings. Let's see the levels of support for potential bounce. This would be a good buy level down here around $52.47. You have additional support over here around 43.24. For resistance, you're going to find resistance at this gap fill, 100%. And this pivot high. Additionally, you're going to find major resistance up here at this pivot high, this gap fill here, and this previous double top all-time high, I believe. So we're looking at 6-7% lower, 9% higher, 16% higher, and then somewhere around 32.5% higher. Right, somewhere around there. But these are my levels for the Tempest AI. Either way, so if you want to screenshot this or pause it, take a picture, whatever you want to do, this is also going to be available to watch on replay on YouTube. So you should be good here. But those are my levels for Tempest. Sarah says, thanks, Lawton. Of course, Sarah. Is ADA Cardano forming a valid bull flag in the upper parallel channel? Let's take a look. I already like this, but let's see. Yes, it is. It's valid. I love it. Absolutely love it. Additionally, you have this nice kind of downtrend, and look at this. Breaking up from this downtrend, where is it going to go? My guess is 10% higher. These are my resistance level for ADA. I anticipate it going to these levels. That is a bull flag, though. 100%. But yeah, I'm bullish in Cardano. Considering it's down, look how far it's down. It's down like 43% from its highs. Yes, it had a move up, like straight move up around 85%, but look, came down 27%. This is a beautiful bounce. This would be the confirmation if it closed here. So definitely favoring a move higher on Cardano. Sam says, what about Unity? Seems very volatile. Is there a trend? Let's see. Well, they have earnings in 2 days, so I'm not touching it. But for me, if I had to guess, say this is kind of bullish action. Look where it pulled back. It pierced it and pulled back. Let's see if it can close above this down-sloping trend line. Additionally, Unity is way down, right? This game developer company, down 84% from its highs. And from its lows, you're talking it's up around 123%. So definitely moving higher, and we love to see that. For me, my target would be right here around $37 to TP. But anyways, guys, I'm going to be live for the next 6 minutes. So you have any additional questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. But send them in now, or forever hold your peace, or send them to me on Twitter later. Let me know. PH says, what's a good platform to trade crypto so Bitcoin doesn't charge a monthly fee, so they don't charge us a fee per trade? If you know, every single platform, crypto exchange, crypto platform is going to charge you a fee per trade, right? There is not any platform I know of that, Peggy, that doesn't charge a fee. It's just part of it, right? That's how these exchanges make their money, right? However, I can tell you that we are partnered with Blowfin as our exclusive crypto exchange. So, anyways, Wes says, how do you put the trend line that starts where the cursor is? My trend line goes across the whole screen. If I do Control H, I like how you do it. So all I do is I just click Control. I just click Control, and it'll go to the top or the bottom of the wick. Yeah, and then I let go. I click Control, and then I click, wherever I let go. Let's see here. Paul says, "Hi Lon, what's up, Paul? Hope you're doing well. Please analyze the chart for AR. Wondering if that's a valid bear flag forming AR. All right, valid downward move. It's tough for me. Look at this. I had this nice downsloping trend line that it's chopping around, broke above, and now it's closing below. If it can take on these lows, I think it's likely to hit to this $30 level, right? If we can get a little bit lower, break the $32 level, I see it going below $30, hitting this pivot low from Liberation Day. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Mar says, "Is it storming over there? How's the weather over there?" Let me see. I think it's okay. It's just hot. It's cloudy a little bit. It's around 92 degrees, so it's hot. That's the only way I can explain it. But luckily, we're indoors, and it's yeah. Can't complain when I can't complain at all. Derek says, "What's the screener for your day trade setups when going off of 1 and 10-minute time frames? The one I gave this morning were based on opening price action when I shorted 1.5 to 3% gains, 3/4 position, but go for it." Yeah, I got it. Those are sick gains, Derek. Amazing, great job. For me, I don't really have a screener. I just look through my charts. Like, look, let's go here on the daily. Right, this is my day trading I guess account. Let's just go to random chart, Tesla. Look how many alerts I have on Tesla. Okay, if it hits my alert, I'm going to get a notification. It might do this one more time. Let's see if I have to connect one more time. Okay, I don't. It'll give me an alert on it, right, saying that oh, it's time to trade it. Right, and I do that for every single thing. Like if we take a look at Microsoft. Microsoft, look at Microsoft. I have an alert to buy Microsoft here. Let's check NVIDIA. I have an alert to trade NVIDIA here. Netflix. Look, I have so many different alerts to trade all of these things. So for me, I don't particularly use a screener. I just like to set my alerts ahead of time. I do have the screener on the side that'll let me know what's moving, what's the general shape and movement of the markets, right? And I can go to like Rigetti and be like, okay, my shortable level is up here around 1843, and I'll set that level. But yeah. Can I not do this? This is weird. But anyways, I do something like that, right? A couple more questions as I'm running out of time. Math says, "Hey Lon, what's up, Math? Is win bullish or is that not a bull flag?" Let's see. Great question. Is that bullish? Win is still down decently from its highs, right? You're talking about 57% down. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Let's go here. So for me on this, I wouldn't say that I'd be bullish just because look at this great move up, right? You've had a move up. You moved up 20%, only had a small pullback. Just have earnings in 3 days. For me, let me see how much it typically moves off of earnings. Nothing there. 3%. I would not say this is bullish. In fact, I would argue that this could be bearish, right? Could be bearish. Not totally great data, right? Not a lot of data here, but you have this nice upsloping trend line that should that break, it would favor a move down. Mar says, I can only trade crypto right now. Do you know where I can trade both crypto and stocks? You guys give so many great stock trades. If you could trade both, you can consider checking out Robinhood. It depends on what country you are, Mar, but depends on what country you are. But it's important to do your own research and find out an exchange that works great for you. But Robinhood should be good. Coinbase potentially. I know they have like tokenized stocks there, but I'm not totally familiar with how that works. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Thank you so much for joining me again. My name is Lawton Ho here with Verified Investing, and I do this every single day. I go live every single day. The markets are open, and sometimes when they're not, from 12:30 to 1:15 to answer your questions. If you have any more questions, guys, I'd love to answer them for you. I'd be happy to. You can just send them to me on Twitter at Lawton Investing. It's just my first name, Lawton, followed by the word investing, and just send me a DM there. I check it a couple times a day, so if I see your message, I'll definitely get back to you. Anyways, guys, it's been a pleasure. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Go make some money. Stay away from trading into earnings, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.